Hey guys, it's Landon from RH, and this is a training video I'm going to do. Shows you how you can use AI to help with your land use planning and environmental consulting. So it's an interesting application. We've already done some of this work. So we have a client that's trying to do a simple agricultural subdivision up in Placer County, and the county staff have come back with some pretty crazy requirements, both for technical studies under what we call CEQA, which is the California Environmental Quality Act, and also just some dedications that I think are way beyond what we call the nexus. So they're asking for right-of-way dedications and reconfigurations of driveways and all kinds of other stuff that really isn't necessary for a simple agricultural subdivision and isn't directly related to the impacts of the subdivision, which in essence is illegal under both state and federal law. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to craft a letter to the Board of Supervisors asking them to reconsider the decision that's been made by staff. I don't normally do that. I don't like having to do that, but we've been back and forth with staff now for 6 months to a year, and they just will not budge. So we sent a previous letter to staff. They basically told us to pound sand. So they were nice about it, but they told us to pound sand. And my client, who's an older farmer, is super frustrated. He's just trying to do a simple subdivision to as part of his estate planning. He's getting older. His parcels meet the zoning. And so we're preparing a letter to his board of supervisor, basically. So my team went in and worked with Gemini and Claude on a couple of draft letters. So they kind of described the situation and the issues. They uploaded all the documentations, all the requirements that we got from the county departments. And they gave me 2 letters, one from Claude and one from Gemini. And what I'm going to try and do in this video now is take the best of both letters. They were both excellent. Take the best parts of both of those as a human. I'm going to integrate those into a single letter, and then we'll load that up to, we're going to load that into a couple of AI chatbots, and we're going to ask it to just fact check and make suggestions for simple improvements. And so we'll see how this goes. I have not done this yet. So I've got the letter up here in the introduction. I'm talking about the, let's add a heading here. I'm talking about the the project and the basic thing that we're asking for. All right, so I've got the other letter here pulled up, and there's some good stuff in this other letter that I want to add. So they've got a good, this other letter has a good little description of the project, so I'm going to add that here. We're going to just add that to the first paragraph, so I just added this little description of the project. All right, then we go in and we talk about, hey, you got to have a nexus. You know, in this case, project's a division with no new construction of structures or infrastructure. This is a really good section here about what the county is requiring that wasn't in the other letters. We can remove this citation here. Okay, but there's some stuff in the other letter here that I would like to add. So we're going to include this basis for relief. So this talks about how we qualify for an exemption under CEQA. We already meet the zoning. There's case law that requires land division that meets existing requirements to be ministerial, not trigger discretionary review. And then we specifically address why there isn't nexus on to just put in county requirements. So we address their specific requirements here and explain why we believe there isn't nexus. Alright, so I got some formatting issues here. So let's see if we can fix those. This is why I hate Microsoft Word. Let's just try and do this. So this is a simple ag. This is a simple ag subdivision, and they're asking for visual impact analysis, paleontological resources study, noise study, conceptual landscaping lining plans. This is just crazy. So this is just, this is totally unreasonable. Or I wouldn't even be doing this. Road dedications. Okay, so we address that. We'll make this italicized here. I was just really, really super impressed with what my team had put together with Claude and Gemini. So, great letter. Alright, we're going to mention here that we comply with the Williamson Act and that the county has its own laws promoting agriculture that they need to consider. And then we're going to end here with a conclusion here. So I'm going to this is a little more detailed conclusion that I like. And we're going to reformat this numbered list. And then what I'll do for you guys is I'll go over this letter one more time. Alright, then we can make this a numbered list. Okay, so just to review the situation we have here. We've got a simple ag subdivision, taking a 162 acre parcel, splitting it into 280s. He's already owns ag. He's zoned to ag 80, I believe. So he's got the zoning. The county wants all these technical studies under CEQA. And they've asked for a bunch of dedications that aren't directly related to the impacts of the development. So in the introduction here, sorry, I thought I added an introduction. In the introduction here, we're asking for, in the introduction, we basically describe the project and summarize our argument, which is the county's requirements are unreasonable. Then we'll do a summary of the county's requirements. All right, so we give a summary of the requirements. Then we say, hey, here's why we think we need relief. We meet the zoning. Case law says this should be ministerial, not discretionary. You guys aren't following the rules for nexus and proportionality. We already comply with the Williamson Act. You guys have laws on the county books that protect and promote agriculture that you need to consider. Here's what we would like you to do. These find things that we would like you to do. And we just say here at the bottom that, hey, we're not asking to avoid reasonable requirements, but they need to be directly related to the development and justified. So it's a good letter. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now there's a couple things I want to fact check. and then there's a court case that the county provided me as justification, a court decision as justification for the requirements, which I think doesn't apply. So we'll ask AI for some help with that. So I'll do one more video on this. Let me stop this video. We'll do that other video. We'll fact check. And then we'll ask for a little bit of information on that case. And then we'll wrap this up and get it over to the client to get to the county.